The Theory of the Leisure Class by Thorstein Veblen. Thorstein Veblen's The Theory of the Leisure Class is an exploration of the ways people in society use wealth and leisure to show off their social status. This book, first published in 1899, dives into how society has developed a strong link between money and respect, and how individuals, particularly the wealthy, often spend money not just on necessities but on things meant to showcase their success. Veblen's analysis covers a range of behaviors, but at its core, he focuses on what he calls conspicuous consumption and conspicuous leisure. These ideas describe the tendency for people, especially in the upper class, to spend money and time on things simply to display their wealth, regardless of whether these things are needed or practical. Veblen's concept of conspicuous consumption is a major theme in his work. Conspicuous consumption happens when people buy expensive goods or services not because they need them but because they want others to see their wealth. This is especially noticeable in luxury goods, fancy cars, designer clothes, jewelry, and other items that can be shown off in public. People buy these things to display their status to the world, signaling that they have enough wealth to afford luxuries, even if those luxuries are not necessary. For example, buying a watch with expensive materials and an intricate design might serve the same basic function as a simple, affordable one, but the expensive watch tells the world that the owner has significant wealth. Veblen argues that this kind of spending is a way to earn respect, as wealth is often linked with admiration in society. Veblen also introduces the idea of conspicuous leisure, which involves spending time in a way that shows off one's social class. The term reflects the idea that, in many cases, those in the upper class do not have to work for a living. By engaging in activities that seem leisurely or luxurious, they signal their freedom from the demands of labor. Conspicuous leisure might include things like going on long vacations, hosting grand events, or dedicating time to hobbies that have no productive value but are expensive to maintain, like yacht sailing or equestrian sports. In Veblen's view, these activities show that someone belongs to the leisure class, a group in society that has enough wealth to live without working. This demonstration of leisure time is another way of gaining social respect, as people see those with abundant free time as having a higher status than those who must work. Veblen explains that historically, society has held those who do not work but live off of wealth, like landowners or nobility, in high esteem. They were seen as more noble or refined because they did not have to perform manual labor. In The Theory of the Leisure Class, Veblen suggests that even though modern society has changed, these old ideas about wealth and status still persist. The wealthy, in his time and even today, are often respected for their ability to avoid work, as their lifestyles symbolize power and independence. As a result, people in society may strive to emulate these wealthy figures by spending money on things that make them appear richer, or by participating in activities that demonstrate their freedom from work. One of Veblen's other insights was about how people, regardless of their social standing, want to feel included in society's hierarchy. Individuals may not be wealthy, but they still adopt habits or buy products that let them feel like they are part of the wealthy class. This might mean buying a brand-name product on credit or engaging in popular social trends that require some financial sacrifice. Veblen saw this as a form of social emulation, where people lower on the social scale imitate those above them. He believed this practice contributed to the increasing demand for consumer goods, as people are constantly looking for ways to feel closer to the lifestyle of the leisure class. The interesting part of Veblen's theory is that it can be seen in modern consumer behavior today. Advertising and marketing often play on people's desire to achieve status and respect by associating products with wealth or luxury. For example, high-end brands often emphasize the exclusivity of their products, encouraging people to buy them as a way to stand out and show they belong to a more prestigious social group. In this way, companies tap into Veblen's idea of conspicuous consumption, motivating people to purchase items to demonstrate their wealth, even if they must stretch their finances to afford them. Veblen's ideas also show up in how people display their lifestyles online. Social media has created a platform where people share snapshots of their lives, often carefully curated to show wealth, success, or luxury. This phenomenon could be considered a modern form of conspicuous consumption and leisure, as people share photos of vacations, expensive meals, new purchases, and high-end experiences to impress their followers. Veblen would likely see this as a form of social comparison, where people aim to measure up to others or even outdo them by showing off aspects of their lifestyle that suggest wealth and privilege. This cycle of displaying wealth and observing others do the same fuels a culture where everyone feels pressured to prove their success, even if it leads to financial strain. Another significant aspect of Veblen's work is his view that this cycle of spending and emulation is not sustainable. He suggested that an economy focused on conspicuous consumption might eventually face challenges. When people focus on acquiring things to show off, they may overlook more practical or sustainable uses of resources. This emphasis on appearance over substance can lead to wasteful spending and a lack of investment in meaningful or productive areas. Veblen's ideas seem relevant today, as environmental concerns grow around consumerism, and people debate the value of spending on luxury items versus more sustainable options. In the theory of the leisure class, Veblen also implies that this drive to accumulate wealth for status leads to inequality in society. While the wealthy spend to display their success, those with less wealth often struggle to keep up, leading to financial pressure and, in some cases, debt. This pursuit of social standing based on wealth can create divisions, as people are judged by their possessions rather than their character or actions. Veblen believed that these divisions could become entrenched, making it harder for society to focus on values beyond material success, like compassion, integrity, and collective well-being. Despite his criticisms, Veblen's work does not reject all forms of wealth or leisure. Instead, he highlights the way these things are often used for social gain rather than for enjoyment or personal fulfillment. He raises questions about what makes life meaningful and whether true happiness comes from wealth or from other aspects of life. His work encourages readers to consider how much they value material possessions, and whether their spending choices genuinely reflect their values or simply a desire for social acceptance. In conclusion, The Theory of the Leisure Class by Thorstein Veblen provides a critical look at the ways people use wealth to signal their social status. Through concepts like conspicuous consumption and conspicuous leisure, Veblen explores the lengths to which individuals go to be seen as successful and respected. His observations reveal how society pressures people to compete in displays of wealth and status, which can lead to economic and social consequences. Veblen's ideas remain relevant as we continue to see consumer culture, social comparison, and the desire for luxury playing significant roles in people's lives. His work invites us to question whether we are pursuing genuine happiness or simply following social pressures to keep up appearances. Please remember to like and subscribe if you found this discussion insightful. We will continue exploring fascinating topics, so stay tuned for more thought-provoking content.